Hello everyone, my name is Elite Trainer Kenroy, and I have spent the last 4 weeks on what, for me, was going to be the hardest region to get through for the Pokemon Home Master Dex Challenge. It's the only region that, prior to starting this challenge, I have never actually played through. I'm talking, of course, of the setting of Pokemon Black and White and Black and White 2, the Unovan region. And as some of you eagle-eyed viewers may have noticed already, I'm wearing both black and white, because clearly I'm a creative genius, to celebrate the completion of my 8th region, the Unovan region. Well, almost completion, but we'll get to that in just a minute. But for now, we actually have a lot of things to talk about, so let's go ahead and get started. Alright, so I'm going to do things a little bit differently this month. Rather than talking about each individual Pokemon, I'm just going to give my thoughts as I'm showing you each individual Pokemon. There's a few Pokemon I'm going to point out. The first of which is this Victini with my trainer name in the Premier Ball. I actually did catch this Victini myself, and that actually brings me to the first thing that I learned how to do this month for the very first time, and that was to use my cell phone's mobile hotspot to give myself event items. I got the Liberty Pass that got me Victini in Pokemon Black. I was also able to get an event Reshiram, an event Mewtwo, an event Keldeo, a shiny Dialga, Palkia, and Giratina, an event Genesect, and an event Flying Pikachu. All of those Pokemon, with the exception of Victini, are in Cherish Balls. And if you want to know how I got these Pokemon, it requires a DSi and an Android device capable of creating a mobile hotspot. There's a link in the description below this video to a short that I made showing you exactly how to accomplish this. I will say that none of these Pokemon were terribly hard to capture. Probably the worst ones to get were the Teddiursa and Phanpy by Curtis and Yancey. Toby, when he was talking about this, said that it requires just a couple of phone calls. What he didn't mention is that you have to receive 10 phone calls, and then you have to make 50 phone calls to an NPC in order to get these Pokemon. And that was the worst thing I've experienced in any Pokemon game. I will say that I thought that capturing Ends Pokemon was going to be extremely difficult. It was actually really easy, and I genuinely really enjoyed it. So much so that I genuinely would like for them to do that again in a future installment of the series. Catching Ends Pokemon was actually really, really fun. Oh, and I also want to mention that I did get another full odds shiny Pokemon in, I think it was Black 2 I was playing. I got a shiny Mindfu while I was hunting. So I evolved him into a shiny Mindshell. So that's like the 3rd or 4th shiny Pokemon I've gotten during this challenge. I was able to get shiny Dratini, shiny Gible, and shiny Haxorus at the end of the Black City Tower episode, if you want to call it that, challenge, whatever you want to call it. I was able to catch Zekrom in a Luxury Ball, and I was able to catch Kyurem in a Premier Ball. And if you'll see here, Cobalion is a much higher level than Virizion and Terrakion. Cobalion I got early in the game, and I think it was Black 2, and Cobalion just completely carried my entire team. Cobalion ended up being a higher level at the end of the game than any of my starters. And if you guys will look at this box right here, you'll notice that there's something very obviously missing. The 3 elemental genies are missing. I had already gotten the 3 genies from the Dream Radar games, and I forgot to catch the elemental genies in white before resetting my game. So at some point in the next 2 months, I'm going to have to replay through Pokemon White to get the elemental genies. So that brings me to Heart Gold and Soul Silver. I want to talk to you guys about that because I've been working on that for about a week as well. Played all the way through Soul Silver. I did get the gift Tentacle from the Pokemon Center in Cianwood City. I also got the Scyther and the Pinsir from the bug catching contest. Next week, I might try to catch another Scyther. I know this isn't what Toby asked for, but I kind of want to catch another Scyther and send it to Legends Arceus to evolve it into Kleavor, because I think having Kleavor in a Sport Ball would just be the coolest thing ever. It's not part of Toby's decks, but it's something that I think would be a really cool addition to my decks. Hopefully by the time this video goes live, I'll have Rayquaza If I do have Rayquaza before this video goes live, I will post a picture of Rayquaza right here. So last month I showed you guys the 4th gold star that we earned, and in the last month we've gotten 3 more gold stars, bringing us to a grand total of 7 so far, with a guaranteed 8th gold star on the way coming up next month. A very close friend of mine who has actually lent me a couple of games for this challenge informed me that he had an old unopened copy of Pokemon Ranger he was getting ready to play. I asked him if he'd planned on getting the Manaphy egg at the end of the game. He said he didn't really care because he'd already gotten Manaphy and Fiona from Legends Arceus. He sent me back my copy of Platinum with the Manaphy egg in my PC box. I of course hatched the Manaphy egg as soon as possible, adding another ultra rare Pokemon to my collection. But that's not where this story ends, because my friend also had a copy of my Pokemon Ranch on his Wii. So he was able to get me Haley's Mew and Haley's Fiona, giving us yet another gold star. And the last gold star for this episode is one that I've been working on since November, I believe. I was able to trade my Japanese ORAS demo Steelix with the user on Reddit who's doing this same challenge to get the Japanese Colosseum Scizor, Togepi, and Mareep, which technically means that I traded 1 gold star for another gold star, and that means I should have 6 and not 7. It's just a simple matter of hacking the ORAS demo back into this console to get another Japanese ORAS demo Steelix. So by the time this video goes live, I'll probably already have another Steelix. And as far as next month's guaranteed gold star is concerned, I got myself a birthday present. By the time this video goes live, my birthday will have already passed. It was February 25th. For my birthday, I got myself a legitimate Ruby and Sapphire Eon ticket off of eBay, which I won fairly cheap at an auction. This is title. I do have to break it out of this case in order to use it. But once I'm done with it, I may send it back to PSA to get it put back in a new case. So that's it for me, you guys. Next month is the penultimate episode where I will show off my Hoenn living decks. Then I'm going to spend, like I said last month, I'm going to spend a few weeks in April just making sure I don't have anything missing. And April 24th will be the final episode of the Pokemon Home Master Decks Challenge, and I will very likely be taking a break before moving on to a different catching challenge, probably in June. I hope you guys have a fantastic week, and I'll see you soon. Peace.